All right, welcome to lesson 2 here, and we're going to continue on with our human figure by learning how to draw the chest and add the head to that chest. So in order to draw the chest, we are going to begin by doing a little lesson in tacos. What is a taco? A taco is something amazing, and if you've never had it, I don't think you live on the planet Earth. But anyhow, we have a taco here. And yes, I know what you're thinking. The cheese is not sprinkled on top of the lettuce. And just a quick tip for you. If you want your cheese to be kind of on the melted side and not to fall off as soon as you take your first bite, putting it on the meat is a wise decision, and you're welcome. But what if we take that taco and now we turn it directly to the side? All right, so here we have the taco directly to the side. But we take that taco, and now I'm going to do something that most would consider blasphemy. And we're going to turn that taco upside down, and we're just going to dump everything out of it so that we just have the shell. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this upside down taco shell and turn it into a chest, and that's where we have it right here. So as you can see, I took a taco and I turned it into our figure's chest, and I colored it in just so you could understand what I'm talking about, for those of you who are just a teeny bit on the slow side. But you can take this drawing here and say, well, that's super easy. I can draw a taco. I mean, it's basically like just a large smile, perhaps. But how do you take this simple taco shell and turn it into more of a 3D form? Because you're not always going to be drawing your characters from the direct front. And from what I've seen and from what I used to do is I'd take one angle that I was comfortable with, and I'd only draw my characters in that angle, and I'd never get any further than that. And a lot of you just draw your characters from the direct front, because as soon as you start drawing them or trying to draw them in 3D, you start to lose the form of the character and everything goes haywire. All right, so one thing I do want to point out before we go forward is some of the dimensions here of this head in comparison with the neck and the upper chest. The width of this chest is always going to be about this distance from your head. Now this looks, if you were to cut this head in half and then separate it into thirds, it looks to be about 2/3, maybe a little bit less. I don't think it's a half just yet, but that's where you want to keep it at. The neck is about half of the head's height. Okay, so if you were to cut that circle in half, that would be the height of your neck. So if it's looking a little short or long, you can always go back to that and get those dimensions. The next is the head. The height of the head is about the height of the chest. So 1 and 1 right there. But what I want to do now is I want to talk about this chest. And this chest starts, well, it's a taco, right? Upside down taco. So it starts with the letter T. And when we start drawing these chests from this point forward, especially when we get into the actual angles of this chest, we want to somehow find a way to draw it correctly each time. And the way to do that is with the letter T. And I'll show you what I mean by going to the next page here. All right, so this can look very technical, but it's actually pretty simple. And we're just going to go through these one by one. And by the time we're done, you're going to totally get it. And it's going to be something that, yeah, it's going to need some practice, but you'll be able to do for sure by the end of next week. When we get to the next lesson, you'll be pretty good at this. So anyways, I've categorized them. We've got dead center, looking at this chest right at the center, directly at it. We've got what it would look like if you were looking at the chest from, if you were down below looking up at the chest, if you were looking down at the chest, if you were looking directly above the chest, and if you were looking directly below the chest. So let's go ahead and let's get started. We'll start with the easiest one, or one of the easiest ones, and that is this chest right in front of us. And all we got to do is we just got to connect these dots together, okay? The points of this T. And that's it. That's our chest. If we were to take these lines away, we would have a chest that looks like that. And that's basically what we had on the last page that we were looking at. All right, the next is this T. Now that you see this side is shorter than this, it's because the T is turning away from us. It's looking towards the left. You'd be able to do the same thing on the right, but it's just we're playing a trick on the eyes by making this portion of the T a little bit smaller. All right. Now, we have to push this T out away from itself in order to make this thing three-dimensional. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep the line straight, perpendicular. All right, and we'll just end it about right here, here, and then if we were to push it out, even though you wouldn't see it, it would be somewhere right around here. Okay. So there we go. So let's connect the lines, or put a dot here for this. This one's getting pushed out to here, so now we know where to go. Pretend like we drew something there, and we connected that there. So it's kind of three-dimensional. It's just that we don't see anything on this line. It looks like the same, except the line just got a little bit longer. All right, but now we're going to connect this black T first. So let's do that. Let's round it out. All right, now we got our front portion, and now we're going to take this dot and this point, and we're gonna connect those two together. All right, and then we're going to take this point and this point, and we're going to connect this red T together like so. And we'll go ahead and just get the top portion. And let's get rid of that T, or the lines, the black lines, and we're going to get rid of all the lines we don't need. Okay, we're not going to see that one back there, and we're not going to see that line. Okay, and then what I probably want to do is round this out. Don't ever go outside the lines. These are your bounding lines, so you never want to go outside those lines. You always want to draw your this rounded portion inside. Never go out. You do it out, you've already lost the war. And then we'll go ahead and just get rid of those. So there you go. There's your chest looking at an angle, looking at a left angle. All right, let's come over here. And now this is the T directly from the side, so it just looks like a line. And let's push him out to about here. Kind of basically a rectangle. Let's make the red T. And then let's just round them out. If we were to get rid of the lines, we could just keep what we want. So there you have it. You have a chest front, angled, and directly from the side. I think that's pretty simple. I think it's something that most of you out there can do, if not every one of you. All right, so now we're going to be looking upward at the chest. All right, so we're going to get these points. That'll be the first thing we do. And then we're going to go ahead and stretch this T outward, but we're going to stretch him backwards, as if he's falling back. The red T is falling back, the black T is going forward, however you want to see it. Let's connect those dots there, and then this just stays aligned. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make this chest connect. Beautiful. All right, and I'm gonna sketch that and sketch that. And now all we have to do is fix this up a little by erasing the lines we don't need. And I probably want to make just a notion that it's a little bit on the rounded side. Can't really do much at this angle here, but there you go. Now, if one thing you can do, just to kind of, so your eyes kind of see it better, you can kind of shade the portions, the side portions, just to make it a little bit more understandable. so you know kind of where you're looking. Now this one's just the whole thing is shaded because we're just looking at the side. All right. All right, we'll go with this one now. Find our points. Bring these all back. Now we're going to see all of these angles. And keep in mind, they're all going to be going the same direction. This T is just launching away from Earth. Or chest, that is. All right, so there you have it. We've got a three-dimensional T, and now we're going to connect these dots with arcs. Short lines when you're sketching helps. Try to keep them light. And then let's go ahead and let me get this line here and this line here. Let's get rid of the black. And now let's just get rid of any lines we don't need. At a point, you're not going to have to do all this, but this is good practice, especially if you've never drawn something like this before. It's good practice. Let me go ahead and shade this out. I'm keeping my shaded lines, well, relatively the same angle as these lines that we drew before. And then also, too, I probably want to round this out. And I think that looks pretty darn good. So we'll go ahead and we'll head up here. And this is going to be a very simple one. We are looking directly from the bottom of the chest. So I'm going to use my points again. Got 3 points. Bring that chest back. Keeping it about the same as this one here. I'm going to make the bottom, or I'm going to make the red T on this side, and then I'll just go ahead and make that line. But that's if we were looking directly upward at the T. I'll finish this line here, and then probably would round out that taco a little bit, or that chest. There you go. And if we're looking directly below, and honestly, you really wouldn't need this. But we can go ahead and shade that. All right. All right, so let's, we're looking at above at an angle, and we'll go ahead and get this, the points set out, and we'll bring it out to here. And then we'll go ahead and make this letter T. Okay. Now this point is right here, and then this point is up here, okay? All right, so let's connect this black letter T with arcs, and then let's connect this point to this point, and this point to this point. And then we'll go ahead and start getting rid of some lines. We know we don't need that back arc. And that helps out a lot. We also don't need that dot there anymore. But we can keep the center of the chest. And we can go ahead and round out this taco. And then that would be where the neck would go eventually. We'll go ahead and shade this out. And there you go. Let's go with this one. Find our points. Keep all those lines going in the same direction. All right. And we'll connect our black T. And we'll connect our red T. Bring them together. Let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of lines we don't need. That's where our neckline or our neck would be, and then we will just kind of round that out a little bit. Beautiful. And let's shade that in, keeping the shaded lines the same directions as these lines here. And last, we're going to be looking directly above at this T. Let's find our points. You could do the point in the center. This time I'm not, because I just don't need it. What I do need is to draw these going down. And then I'm going to connect them. And then I'm just going to round them just ever so slightly. Get rid of the guidelines and shade this bad boy. So there you have it. You have all these different angles to play with, and believe me, this can get you through most of drawing a human body or a human chest at different angles. All of these right here can be applied to the right side. You just have to mirror them over here. So practice all of this. Practice, practice, practice. It's going to get you further ahead. Make sure to keep those proportions right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next page and just draw a couple of characters with the head, the neck, and the chest. We're actually going to draw them looking to the right. There we go. And this should be real easy. We always want to start with the head, right? So I'm just going to draw a couple of angled views. So the first one's going to be a guy, and we'll have him looking up. Okay, now this is something that you should have been working on from the first lesson. But anyways, so here he is. He's looking up. We have his neck, which is about half, remember, of the head. And then we're going to go ahead and draw this T. Now this is all to the right. We're going to make this T in 3D form. And we'll go ahead and connect all the dots. And there you have it. I think that looks pretty cool. So let's try another view real quick, and then we'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this head. He's going to be, I'll have him looking at a little bit less of an angle, and he'll be looking directly up. Boom. We have his neck, but he's going to be turned a little bit less. He's going to be turned a little bit more to the side. So what I want to do is probably almost as if something took him by surprise. So he's looking this way, but his chest is pointing this way. Okay, and we'll go ahead and do this. And there you go. But already you're starting to see that this body's coming together pretty cool, and what you can make out of bodies like this is, I mean, endless possibilities. But you've got to start with something. You got to start with something simple, and that's what we're doing. Next week we're going to be doing the shoulders. we're going to be doing the torso and the upper arms. It'll be way shorter lesson than this, but we had to get through this to get to the next. So enjoy. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, keep them nice. Message me down below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Until then, God bless.